There's no need to fear. Underdog is here.
Time again for the Underdog Show, starring that champion of champions, Underdog.
Not a bird, not a plane, not even a frog. Just little old me, Underdog.
There's MC and his buddy Julie, go Gophers on the run. The stories of McBragg outrageous, no one could be more courageous. Underdog. Welfare. Go watch the hunter chase the fox. He Tooters on the rocks and then there's Underdog. Underdog.
Speed of lightning, roar of thunder, fighting all who rob and plunder.
First day of the exciting National Olympics. Thousands of people were present to witness the events, and millions more were watching at home on their TV sets, with Sweet Polly Purebred, ace TV reporter, bringing them the news.
And so, dear viewers, the first event of the National Olympics is about to get underway. This will be the broad jumping contest, and Stretch Legs is to be the first jumper. For a few words about Stretch, here is our sports editor, Al Mellon.
This Stretch Legs is really something to see, folks. Some folks around here claim Stretch is going to set a new world's record. They say he's wearing extra heavy spiked shoes that he figures will throw him a few extra feet.
And there goes Stretch now. He's running, gaining speed, and now he leaps. He's in the air and going up, and up, and up, and up, and... Why, he's going right up into the sky.
Folks, that one is really gone. Darndest thing I ever saw. He struck out down the field, leaped into the air, and took off like a bird. Had his feet out in front of him, and those feet just seemed to draw him right up to the clouds.
Everyone is running out onto the field, but no one seems to know what to do. Oh, I have a special report from the judges' box. In order to try and get an accurate measure of Stretch Legs' jump, the judges have sent a plane up. May be able to catch him and check on his forward distance for the broad jump.
While Sweet Polly is waiting for more reports on that really strange event, we take you to the other side of the field where the weightlifting is underway. Right at this moment, Pierre Lestrong is about to try and press 300 pounds over his head. And there he goes. That boy is going, jumping. Catfish, folks. That old Pierre Lestrong is lifted right up off the ground, dumbbell and all. He's up in the clouds and going like a cannonball.
It's all so unbelievable. Another athlete zooming right up into the sky. Oh, here's one of the judges now. Perhaps he can tell us something. Judge, do you have any word for our viewers about these two strange events?
Well, unless these men come down, they are, in my opinion, disqualified. And I say you can't count what you can't see.
But have you heard any reason that might account for them going up into the sky?
Oh, no comment. The whole thing is impossible and against the rules.
Look, Sweet Polly, another one.
It's a pole vaulter, ladies and gentlemen. Using an aluminum pole, he has been lifted right off the ground.
The situation seemed unexplainable. The rest of the events were canceled. The Army and Navy were called in. Scientists all across the country were put to work to try to explain the amazing rapid ascent of the athletes. Professor Bruno Heimerdown had this to say.
Those boys is going right up through the atmosphere. In my opinion, the whole thing is tied in with that strange new planet we spotted a week ago.
Other scientists agreed with Professor Heimerdown. A new planet, seen for the first time only a week before, seemed to be causing the strange incidents. In a special White House conference, Air Force General Ricketts had this to say.
This is a matter of life and death. We must find out what's on that planet, or we may be wiped out.
But who could do that? Who could get to the strange planet?
Underdog.
Underdog? And so the whole world called on Underdog to save it from some unknown menace. Will Underdog reach the new planet? What will he find there? What strange forces are pulling men from the Earth? There's plenty of excitement ahead in our next episode.
Don't tell me, Tooter, that once more you're not satisfied with your life and want to be something else.
Well, now, I reckon that's just about the size of it, Mr. Wizard. I got a powerful hankering for the old days. The romance of the river. What I want to be is a riverboat captain.
But, Tooter, my boy, it takes years to be the riverboat captain. You have to know every bend and twist in the river. Why don't you just be yourselves a nice little turtle boy?
Please, Mr. Wizard. I just know this is what I want to be.
Well, I think you'll be sorry, but I let you try. It takes the great skill to navigate the tricky twists and bends of the river, and it took much strength to handle the big steering wheel. Besides being twisty, the river was very shallow in some places. To find out just how deep it was, they used a lead line, which was a long piece of rope with a lead weight on one end. The rope has the marks on it every 6 feet. The sailor would whirl the rope around and then let it go into the water. Then they would call out the mark and know how deep was the river. By the mark, Twain!
Here now, sailor. Let me have a try at that. Since I'm the captain, I have to check up once in a while.
One of the great dangers of the river was the fog. But this did not bother the brave river pilot. He kept sounding the foghorn and steering the straight course so that when the fog lifted, he was right where he was supposed to be. In the old days, the boats was run by the big paddle wheels that turned around and around. The wise riverboat captain knew enough to stay away from the wheels because they was very dangerous.
Whoa! Wait, stop! Only us captains are smart enough to get away from them wheels.
All the riverboat captains was great rivals. Each one thought he was the best on the river. And they was always having the race to see who was the fastest. The roughest, toughest captain on the water was Big Blackie Bark, king of the river.
I'm king of the river, and my boat Bessie May can beat any boat from Natchez to New Orleans.
Well now, Mr. Blackie, I don't know about that. I reckon I can beat you to New Orleans.
By the great horned toad, nobody can beat me. I challenge you to a race.
One of the most important parts of the race was getting started. First, the captains would build up the big head of steam. Then away they would go down the river. I said, away they would go. Once on the way, the boats really turned on the steam by throwing the big logs into the furnace.
Mr. Blarney, more steam!
Aye, aye, sir!
Sometimes in a big race, the ship ran out of logs to burn. And then the clever captain would have the men throw on the furniture and everything else that was made of wood. Even the ship itself they would start tearing up to get more wood for the fire.
More steam, Mr. Blarney!
The boilers won't take any more, sir.
I said get me more steam. I'm gonna win this here race if it's the last thing I do. Help, Mr. Wizard! Help me! My plans just blew up.
Well, once again, tristle, trestle, trussle, drone. Time for this one to come home.
Under the mighty Hudson River connecting the great states of New York and New Jersey is the Lincoln Tunnel. Every day, thousands of trucks and commuters pour through the tunnel from both sides. But suddenly, one morning, the tunnel was gone. Traffic piled up on both sides of the river for miles. The police were baffled, and Officer Flanagan immediately called the hunter.
Hello, I am the hunter. Have nose, will hunt. I hunt anything for a price. Oh, it's you, Flanagan. What? A funnel? Why, you can buy a funnel in any hardware store. Course, if you're a little short of cash, I could, a tunnel. Well, now, why didn't you say so? Where was it last seen? Under the river? That tunnel must be all wet, son. But all us famous detectives has to visit the scene of the crime.
And so the hunter headed for the river.
I declare, this is a tough case. Gonna take some deep thinking. That's a joke, son. Nary a footprint. Nary a fingerprint. Not so much as a tire track. This was a pretty slippery operation. But according to my precise calculations, that tunnel ought to be just about... Why, I declare, there it is. Big as life and twice as natural. Well, now, they must have returned it when they found I was on the case. I'll just look inside and... Now, where in the cotton blooming world did that tunnel go? There's something mighty fishy about all this.
However, it wasn't as fishy as it was foxy. During the night, the fox had moved the tunnel, lock, stock, and toll booth right out to the Pennsylvania Turnpike. He figured that there were so many tunnels on the Turnpike now that one more wouldn't be noticed, and he could collect all the toll money for himself.
25 cents, please. 25. I'm going to be rich. Rich!
Meanwhile, as the hunter searched for the Lincoln Tunnel, he had a rather one-sided conversation with the statue of Lincoln on Mount Rushmore.
Son, it seems to me you're big enough now to keep track of your things. Can't go letting people steal your tunnels, you know. Downright careless. I got a mind to drop the whole case.
Battered and weary, the hunter headed back to New York, along the Pennsylvania Turnpike.
That'll be 25 cents toll.
Well, certainly, son. I have it right here somewhere. Now, if that don't take the bird off the bush. I know I have it here. Must have fallen under the seat. Now, just a second.
Come on. You're holding up the traffic.
I got it right here somewhere.
Go for free already. Just go.
Son, get your toll-taking talons off of me. I am the hunter, son, and I pay my own way. My own way. My pappy said to me...
Go!
No!
Go!
No! Aha! The fox. All right, you wily, clever criminal. Where's that tunnel?
All right. Who's blocking traffic there? Glory be, it's the hunter. And the fox. And the tunnel. Sure, Hunter, and you've done it again. How can we ever repay you?
Well, just loan me a quarter for the toll, and I'll be on my way.
Who was that character with the drooping earmuffs blocking traffic?
That, me lady, was the hunter.
There, Victoria Falls. Did I tell you about the time I walked a tightrope across the falls?
No, Commander, but I must go across town.
People came from everywhere to see me perform this death-defying act. I stepped out on the wire, using only a long balancing pole. Slowly, I made my way over the roaring falls. Thousands of feet below me, the torrent raged. One wrong step meant the end, but I intended to give them a good show. Then I did a backflip. The crowd went wild. Now I was ready for the greatest thrill, a triple backflip. For this, I needed plenty of spring, and I began to bounce on the wire. But on the last bounce, the wire broke!
Good heavens! Cut off in mid-air?
Thinking quickly, I began to twirl my balancing pole over my head. Faster and faster it went until it acted like a helicopter. And I flew safely over to the other shore.
Undoubtedly, another first.
Quite.
What's going on in there, Sarge?
I'm not sure. The Colonel got a big box off the last stage, and he's been working in there ever since. One thing you can bet on, though, it's got something to do with getting rid of those Gopher Indians.
Sergeant, report at once.
Sarge reporting, sir.
Well, Sergeant, what do you think of that?
What is it, Colonel?
A new weapon. One that will finally take care of those Gopher Indians. This is a Gatling gun.
But what does it do?
It fires one shot after another, like an army of men. You just push this in and pull on this and... Oh,
no! That sure ought to take care of those Indians, all right. If it don't take care of us first.
Gun! Uh-oh, Colonel got new kind of gun. Bang, bang. That sound bad. You got 'em planned? Swish splash. We send 'em Colonel message and tell 'em where we go. Then swish splash. We have fun.
Yes, Sergeant. I have it on good authority that the Indians will try to cross the river near these falls.
But there's no way we can get them from this bank, Colonel.
Of course not. But you're in the Army, Sergeant. And Regulation 6489J says, be prepared. That's why we brought along this raft. Come along. Bully, this is fine. Now you keep rowing so we won't get pulled over those falls. I'll man the Gatling gun.
But, Colonel...
Look! They're crossing up ahead. Fire!
Colonel!
Don't worry, Sergeant. I'll get them this time.
The falls, Colonel! I think maybe we were tricked, Colonel.
It won't happen again, Sergeant. Those Indians have to pass along this trail to get back to their camp. And we're going to be waiting with the Gatling gun high in this tree. Help me pull it up. Bully, the perfect spot. High above the trail.
Whistle, splat. Me understand.
Listen. Be alert, Sergeant. I think I hear them coming.
Golly, Colonel, that sounds to me like somebody sawing wood.
What did he say?
Him say, timber!
We'll use this covered wagon, Sergeant. It's an old Army trick I learned on the California Trail.
Well, how does it work?
You dress up like an old lady and drive the wagon near the Gopher camp. Naturally, they'll attack. But, I'll be hidden in the back of the wagon with the Gatling gun. Come along.
Look like old lady driving covered wagon all alone. Look like a massage. Aha! Sergeant drive wagon and Colonel in back with big gun. What we do? Roll. Roll. Give me a roll. We use big rock. Doopy-doopy. Make big crash.
Any sign of them yet, Sergeant?
Not yet, Colonel.
What was that?
Sounds like thunder. Only it's... Look out! Looks like it'll take quite a spell to patch up that Gatling gun. And the Colonel, too. But I reckon he'll be all right for our next adventure. You all be with us, huh?
In our last episode, scientists had discovered that men were being pulled away from Earth by a mysterious planet, and they had called on Underdog for help.
But wait a minute. We'll have to send tons of equipment to the planet. I don't think Underdog will be able to handle all that.
You're right. We will have to go ourselves by rocket ship. How long will it take?
Well, let me see. It will take exactly 14 years, 3 months, and 22 days.
Good. Let's get started. And
14 years. 3
months.
And 22 days. I am a hero tried and true. What can I now do for you?
Quickly, the scientists explained the problem and told Underdog what he must do.
And you must also take along several tons of scientific equipment. Can you do it?
There's no need to fear. Underdog is here.
So bright and early the next morning, Underdog prepared to take off for Planet X.
Wait, I'm coming with you. I want to bring a first-hand report of the story to my television audience.
I'm sorry, sweet Polly, but you can't go. It's much too dangerous, you know.
We'll see about that. Nothing stops a good reporter.
And so, after shaking hands with all the scientists, Underdog took off for Planet X. And moving faster and faster until he reached the speed of light, Underdog soon landed on the sinister planet. And immediately began unpacking his equipment.
Bologna sandwiches, peanut butter and jam, pickles, hard-boiled eggs.
Surprise!
Sweet Polly!
I stowed away. I intend to cover the story as a reporter.
Then the thing to do is look around and see what strange things can be found.
And strange things could be found, for even as Underdog and Polly unpacked the equipment, they were being watched by 2 strange creatures, the Magnet Men.
Look, McBragg, Earthmen.
Do you suppose they brought any food?
Yes, look, plenty of food.
I'll open the sandwiches while you get the radio set up.
But as Underdog was setting up the radio...
Delicious. Have a bite.
Hey, you, come face to face with me. I can't fight what I can't see. There's no need to fear. Underdog is here. Wrong. I don't understand. I'm held to the surface by my hand.
What is this mysterious force? Who are these strange people? And what do they want from Underdog and Polly? There's plenty of excitement ahead in our next episode.
Oh.